Yeah, I think so.
And we're only one game into this series, guys, but like let's slow it down. I went on my little tirade about role swaps and things like that. I'm gonna go into Dragonshire now. This is Ballistix map pick. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, and even with H82, it's Dehaka. Basically, Hooligan denied 2 Gunza's Anubarak and H82's Dehaka by himself alone. Jungha was taking lots of damage, but also doing some wave clear on the side. So mostly it was a Hooligan's job to keep their team alive. SDE, of course, SC had better positioning compared to the other team, but still Hooligan did a fantastic job on that ETC. Magi, this entire team was off to a better start of the day compared to their match against Tempest, and this one is the one they like. And I think Tychus, if they're thinking of a similar draft, I think intentionally they don't want to show anything crazy, and they want to keep the similar draft and not really show anything fancy tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, you talked about that earlier before we got into the draft, but just kind of keeping it simple and like I was saying, basically playing as standards as you can for the meta is what Ballistix is simply trying to do here against a weaker team, quote unquote.
Yeah, because Ballistix, they can also play Tracer. They're one of the first teams to play Tracer in Korea, and I think they sure have practiced them Malfurion Tracer. Even with Zeratul as CSC, even Jungha can play insane Zeratul as we saw last year, and I'm pretty sure they have that ready, but they're not going to use it tonight. I think it's for tomorrow against KSV Black.
A new Brock ban is a little bit curious here.
You know what we call that? A self-ban.
Well, yeah.
Onto Gunza.
That's the joke, right? But, you know, it's not really realistic to have this ban unless you've got a really strong plan. Like, I need to see light bulbs like I saw last draft, but even brighter for me to like this. A new Brock ban. Looks to be a Hanzo ban. And this Hanzo ban says, take Greymane, we've got Uther, and we're very happy to take Uther Genji. Yeah, otherwise, take Genji, we've taken Uther. Like, that's why I don't like this ban. You can ban Tracer, that would be next level, because that actually makes Miracle make tougher decisions. But I think the Hanzo ban...
tougher decisions.
Yeah, but I mean, the Hanzo ban is, like, super smart. It's like, well, no matter what you pick first pick, I have the answer. Whereas the Tracer ban says... I think you're probably going to keep playing this, and I don't want you to.
Ooh, not a Shimada ban. Very surprising, but the choice goes to Miracle. Now the flip coin, Hanzo or Genji.
I think they have to take Hanzo.
But they like to play Genji, though. That's the thing.
But
even
SC,
when Hanzo's open.
SC is so good at Hanzo. If you don't take the Hanzo, you leave the Hanzo to SC.
That is correct.
And you give Uther, and they will just Hanzo Uther. Like, watch this. If they lock in... Genji, watch how fast Ballistix locks it in. Like, let's like count it down. Okay, so they're not gonna do it, but I was gonna say like wait for that Genji lock in. Like, let's see how fast they instantly pick Hanzo Uther. They're gonna pick Genji Uther this time because they left it open because the Anubarak ban, which is what allows this in the first place. So
that is actually interesting. That
and now Anubarak. Oh wait, no, we can't pick him, but he can't cocoon the Uther to ruin the comp. Oh no, this. A new Brock ban is really weird to me, G-Clef.
I think they have to grab everything. Take that ETC away from Hooligan, as Judy is a decent ETC also, and possibly grab Hanzo themselves. I think with Greymane it's an okay pair. Can provide lots of pokes. Even with the Dragon Knight, the camp timing will be insanely quick with Greymane and Hanzo together.
Yeah.
And that's also why we see lots of Regars coming out, but with Greymane and Hanzo, I don't think we even need real Regar here.
I think you're on the money with the ETC pick. I think it's really strong, and obviously could be used in an anti-mobility way. So Power Slide's such an easy stun to hit. Well, gonna find out. Tyrael. So they are gonna pull the Tyrael out. It's a possibility Sniper plays it.
Or maybe H82 solo lane.
Yeah.
Even?
Well, I mean,
H82 did play some Tyrael, and Dehaka could go to Sniper sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, with Dehaka in the mix, I don't think that'll be the case, but you know, it has happened, as you say. And Miracle has done some mad scientist role swapping
after
in
game
the
one.
past.
So I'm trying to guess here. This may be the first draft where we just have Hanzo go through the entire thing. The first one from Korea.
he could technically still be picked by Ballistix, but it doesn't really suit the comp anymore. Because even though he can soften targets, you're going to have a hard time with Hanzo softening the targets enough with a tanky top laner like the Haka.
Dragon Strike.
Alright, Clef. Hey, it's Dragonshire, after all.
Yes, we need those dragons as many as possible. Dragon Strike, Dragon Blade.
Miracle's like, oh my god, they banned Alexstrasza. I'm like, no. Like, no.
What
Why'd you ban the Nubrak? Why are you banning the Alexstrasza? Like, what's going on? Okay, this is a tough ban. Like, I think they're definitely thinking about the Hanzo ban, but they also might be thinking about a solo lane ban, like banning Leoric, because obviously Leoric gave a lot of trouble to Dahaka. In the previous set, they were trying to use Dahaka more aggressively, and every time he failed to get a pick, Leoric was pushing super hard. We're going down to the wire on these. Okay, the ETC pick, we were talking about denial. We were mostly referencing it in terms of picking it rather than banning it. This is a strong ban.
They already have Tyrael, so they don't need a third one. So they have that as a ban against Hooligan, whose ETC was great in game number 1. Not just in game number 1, overall, a great ETC player. And also giving that early pressure ETC along with Genji with some CC pair up would be big. I think they can keep the same. Genji, not ETC and Nubrak out of the game now. So if you think about a few more CCs, maybe even Diablo, and take Tychus along with you, which removes the % damage from that, which is possible if not grabbed by Ballistix. And this is a strong map for Tychus also. So just try to keep that similarity from game number 1.
Yeah, I think that's really safe. It's obviously strong for the 4-man. Genji can gank a bad matchup in the top lane if they want to run one. And Falstad could be, depending on how it's played. Going to be the Falstad over the Tychus very likely here with the Muradin, which is a better squatter in most cases than Tyrael for Shrines. Wow, okay, didn't see that one coming. Nobody did. Put your hands down, saying, no, you put it down. You did not know that was coming. Guy in the chat, like. So this is gonna be one of those super heavy push comps. Remember, Ballistix mastered this comp, and Miracle died to it in the finals of Gold Club in 2016. This type of composition.
Either Greymane all in, push the lane and Dahaka on the other side, or the auto attack Zarya. That could also be possible in a way.
I wonder what do you do here though? This is kind of an awkward spot for Ballistix based on the draft they've chosen. Do you just like triple DPS, like lock in Sylvanas? I'm pushing one side.
I think they were thinking about 0-2 possibly, like if there was assassination kind of comp, but with the amount of shield now available for Miracle, I think that's out of the question. And something else, okay.
Artanis.
It is not H82's Artanis, he's on the other side actually.
I think Artanis is a strong top laner who pushes really hard and can help kind of ruin this comp. But at the same time, I think Sylvanas would have been an interesting pick because you can just run away and do almost as much damage as the 4-man push is going to do with Zarya with the Sylvanas on the other lane. So Dahaka versus Artanis, that's going to be a real interesting one. And H82, he's not playing the Artanis in this case, but he's playing against it. So we'll have good knowledge of how to play this matchup in the solo lane. And let's see how they want to use the Zarya, because it could be auto attacks and it could just be they think the Zarya fits the comp and can help Greymane as a secondary support with Tyrael. It might not actually be that they're really looking for early game structural damage. Let's see where they go with level 1. It's going to be the big telling point as to how this is going to be played.
Ooh, Artanis as solo lane. Maybe he's looking for that swap and make one disposition like Ariel, Greymane, and make him go out of range for that protection from the shield from Tyrael, also Zarya and everything else. So he's going to go for the amateur opponent for the camp timing. I think they were really focused on the rotations. Basically, they were also winning game 1 with their rotations alone, not just team fights.
Look at Zarya holding level 1 for a long time to keep Ballistix guessing. Then locks in Grenade here. That's actually really cool, because Ballistix would have been able to tell like whether Grenade or not. Often you can just really know what Zarya is planning at level 1 because of this. And then come to mid, Ballistix is okay with this. Notice the timing of top lane, by the way. HA2 is always late. Is Miracle still looking for fights at level 1? Or Ballistix is like, why would I ever risk losing a fight to you at level 1? I'm going to clear top first. Now, baiting H82, but he doesn't fully take the bait. SC comes up here. They're going to push this hard. Zarya, obviously counterwise in mid, will need to do a similar amount of damage. Otherwise, this pick for the early game is certainly not paid off. Well, I want to see a shot of how much damage has been done. Not enough.
They're 4-man. They should be clearing waves and already pushing lane. They shouldn't be just staying here trying to look for a kill. There's a body block coming out from Gunza again on Tyrael this time, by the way.
Yeah.
And Judy on Greymane. What in the world is going on for Miracle today?
Well, I've seen this before. Bad ending.
Well, Ariel AoE healing is coming real handy, but there's that Artanis swap.
Oh my
Sniper's
god, the
off to
swap
the
and
power
Hooligan
shots.
comes out. Oh my god! Hooligan!
That's 1-1 trade, but it's going to be more as the
Yeah, I mean, it's Uther who dies, so Uther is just going to make this healing output insane. Jungha's looking to just power his way through. Jaehyun's down. Jungha's going to get another shield in a second here. Okay, looks like he died right before that could happen. SC will be forced to dash away, and it ends up being a 2-2 trade at the end of the day. Camp stolen, and the fort heavily damaged by these siege giants. But that should not have been a fight Ballistix would want to take. I was actually incredibly surprised they committed to it, but it was because of Hooligan and Jungha that they were able to make it an even trade. The swap and the chase/escape from Muradin was just immaculate. Like, Hooligan is a god.
He did exactly the right job, and team. After watching that initial fight around the camp, Miracle clearly practiced this. They're staying around the camp, make sure everyone is getting that Ariel healing. They were staying on that, and Ballistix, they don't have too much of AoE damage. Comparing to that, I think if they can actually sustain well enough, I think that can win the team fights. Comparing Ballistix, they were doing some damage, that was a long team fight. Sustaining-wise, Ariel healing tops Uther.
Really interesting that instead of trying to control the top shrine with the Dahaka, they try to go for the pick on the Unleasher, which in this case was Magi, and just simply walked away. Artanis solos the camp with a little bit of healing from Magi. He actually went for amateur opponent at 1, so it's going to be easier for him to do that. But yeah, really interesting setup here for Ballistix, is trying to use camp control and rotational play, challenging the comp that's so good fighting in choke points, so good fighting with these shields, and just trying to basically outplay them despite kind of, in a sense, playing with one hand tied behind their back. Here comes a swap. Sniper at full energy, so it's going to do a ton of damage. Not only that, but rack up those grenade quest hits here with this. And I feel like Ballistix is kind of running their heads into a brick wall with how they're trying to approach fighting this comp that's so good at shielding itself and being a battering ram towards structures. And I think they're kind of playing into Miracle's hands a little bit here. As Miracle's going to get this wall down now, and will control this Sun Shrine for a long time. Valstad, meanwhile, though, does get that bot soak. They're trying to get some damage done in mid and bottom at the same time. See if Miracle wants to commit all the way to the fort. Pretty tough call at this point.
They do have, not everyone, Artanis is the way. They do realize that, but they don't want to go in too much, as it's going to be an aggressive push coming in. Ballistix also having False that can join into the team fight anytime.
Okay, another Unleash potential here, but everyone's mid, so not going to happen. SC going to challenge this, get stunned, but H82 is unaware that SC is not alone. H82 might actually die here. Maybe, well, SDE, will he get caught? No CC. Hooligan, even with the extra peel, wasn't even necessary.
And of course, Zarya losing that 1v1 against Jungha as Artanis.
Yeah, look at the Dahaka, by the way. Super low. Had to use his essence to survive.
So Ballistix already has an answer against Miracle's rotation for Dragon, for taking these shrines away. Top, bring Uther along with Genji and make sure they have the top one. And then the bottom one, all they have to do is try to stop. Can SD actually get it? It is stopped by Gunza.
Yep, and they're going to take bottom. That was a really tight timing window for them to almost get it. Jungha nearly goes down to that cocktail. But the idea here is basically to bully Dahaka to force defensive rotations from the Zarya. And if that doesn't happen, then they go to the bot, right? So Miracle went bot in this case. Dahaka barely survives. They get the Sunshine no matter what, like you're talking about. But during those times, it takes so long for Miracle to rotate back up top that Dahaka just gets bullied in and they end up winning the trade. That's why they're ahead in experience. They did
Now
more
they have
damage to
both,
top.
and Morden's already there to take the Dragon Knight.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen. HA2's here, and Hooligan actually misses the Stormbolt. They lose bot again. Well, this kind of continues to, this history continues to repeat itself, but Ballistix gets slightly ahead, slightly ahead, slightly ahead. Now they're going to get 10 first, and then maybe they can look for a punishing fight. They have Gust, which is going to be their best engagement tool. Especially with these rotations, you know, they could lock 2 players out, you know, in between mid and bot lane if they try to steal a siege camp or something like that. Really patient here from HA2. Unfortunately, he misses. Okay, this might be the fight they're looking for. 10's about to get hit. Falstad's going to get it for them. He could fly down too. Miracle respects it and walks away. This is the best chance, I think, all game that Ballistix has had of getting the Dragon Knight for real. Dahaka's coming over there. Nope, they didn't get on it fast enough. They're not going to get it.
Thinking, is it going to be that Haymaker? Yes, they want to fight it for a long time. There's not much of a burst damage that can actually take Hooligan out in a few seconds. He's thinking of it, and also Haymaker really disrupts the entire comp of Miracle. It can happen. I think it will be much better of a Haymaker compared to yesterday, but right now Jungha's trapped in here alone.
Jungha wishes he had Avatar. He's gonna have the Divine Shield, but that's a pretty bad trade for Ballistix.
It is going to be Haymaker locked in.
Yep.
There it is.
Gonna use it for the solo kill, but HA2 is just simply gonna brush dog. Oh, not if he gets gusted. That's the end of his life. He's gonna buy some time here, but he will go down. So Heroic's traded, but a win for Miracle in terms of Heroic trade. They're gonna get this neutral camp as well. Bot fort, pretty damaged. To be honest with you, I'd say that with this trade of Heroics and you know, the control of the bot camp, that's probably gonna get them a fort. I'd say Miracle is just slightly ahead. They can also come contest this. Remember, they have Sank. Like Ballistix, if they come, Ballistix has to leave. They can't win this fight. Prove me wrong, Ballistix. I don't think so. Gotta leave on this one.
Also, Zarya is available.
Uh-oh,
so
HA2 with the flank.
Joined already there, so isolation. It's going to be a kill. At least one. Looking for 2 on to Artanis now.
Jungha, yeah, he's stuck here. No escape. Is going to use the blind to try to get out of here, but there's no Divine Shield as Magi's dead. He heals him a lot. It's like Jungha may eventually fall here after shielding himself, but 2 kills for a risky invade. SD cleans the bottom camp. That's part of the reason why they couldn't turn this into a trade. But he cleans the bottom camp so they don't get the fort. But Miracle controls the flow of the game now, and that's a terrifying thing when you've got Zarya on your side with a Tyrael. They're going to go ahead and unleash here, at least attempt it.
It's going to be tough against Genji on the other side. There'll be lots of pokes coming out.
But look at what's happening at the same time. Falstad takes bottom away so they can't channel it. But Dahaka's pushing damage. They're pushing damage mid because they have Zarya, who just finished her Grade 8 talent. So they're finding damage mid, they're finding damage top, and eventually Dahaka can come and flank. So I like Miracle's control over the lanes right now. It could all be taken away in a second if they end up making a mistake or a missed rotation or split too much like they're doing a little bit right now. But I like it. You know, this execution for the strategy that we're seeing is much better than what we saw in Game 1. 2 unique, different strategies from them, not playing to the meta. First game didn't work out. Second game, Judy's Grey main is it's going okay. And Sniper Zarya, we've seen it before, pretty solid.
Yep, bringing what they were good at last time. But so far it's working for against Ballistix. But once that Haymaker hits one of them, especially Ariel with Grey main or any of their damage source, Zarya, if that protection really wears off, I think that's the time Ballistix can really excel in team fights, and I think that's very likely to happen.
Yeah, imagine a Gust on an Aegis, only the Aegis target remains, then it gets Haymakered in. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that this comp can really shine with the Haymaker, and as you say, no burst, Hooligan's not worried about having Avatar. Okay, SD gets dragged, but he is turning this around. The rotation is coming down. Miracle needs to be prepared for this. They need to be prepared to fight in one specific area. Looks like Miracle should be prepared. Ballistix is not actually going to rotate down like I thought. They're going to keep pushing top, trying to make this into a trade. The problem is they're going to get top fort, but they're going to lose a keep wall and a more valuable keep wall, even if they get this pick. What Miracle could do bottom, I think, is potentially much more significant because they have this bot lane, which could be a game-ending lane, whereas top lane on this map almost never is, and it's a fort for a keep wall. meaning that the next Dragon Knight could really mess things up. Daka's dead though, so he can't interrupt the channel. They need to, I think the rotation should have been a little bit faster mid. Can they get in there? Tyrael too far away, and the answer is no.
So at the end of the day, I believe Ballistix did get the better trade with the Dragon Knight. But if they don't get both of the 4, I think they will very likely to do so. They need some time to clear that bottom camp grave. It's going to take some time, but Miracle meanwhile joins the team fight, and H82 goes back on top. So I think it's an okay trade for both. They did what they pushed in and got what they wanted for both teams.
Dragon Knight, you know, can do some serious damage here. It's going to continue to keep Ballistix in an experience lead, especially. Remember, the game is not actually about, like, who's ahead is not always shown, guys, by what the 15 and the 14 on top of the screen show. It's about win conditions, really, and where the comps are at. But Ballistix's advantage is that they have a stronger team fighting comp if they can set up a fight with the initiations they have with the Haymaker, with the Gust, and obviously Divine Shielded Dragon Blades are very fantastic in these longer fights, especially if you can pick the Ariel or the Zarya. But the experience lead is important for Ballistix to maintain, so this is a really safe Dragon Knight they've chosen. They're not trying to go for a keep or anything like that. They're not trying to, you know, in the game per se. Just maintain a talent tier lead so that the next Dragon Knight is hopefully easier to take, so that they're closer to 20.
Jungle's also looking for a few swaps if possible. Not really taking any of it right now. SD goes all the way top. H82's
Respect.
right next to it.
He's like, I'm out of here, man. I don't know what's going on. Tunnel vision maybe a little bit there. Maybe scared it was a bigger rotation, but he actually has the potential to kill Falstad 1v1, whereas Falstad in that moment definitely could not have done the same. Not with the minion wave there. Either way, safety first. Gotta respect that. Holy Ground.
Holy Ground, 13.
Cleanse onto Hooligan, who doesn't have that avatar. He will have to leave. Isolation will be countered by this Divine Shield, but Jungle does no damage. We'll just go ahead and drop down his blind here. And they have to use Gust to disengage. That was the first time where we have to wonder, you know, what could have been if there was a, you know, an avatar instead of the Haymaker. But that's a rare case, and I don't think Ballistix should be trying to invade mercenary camps against this comp that has Tyrael with Sank, with Tyrael's shields, the upgraded shields at level 1, which is so broken. Oh my god. And they've got Zarya shields and, you know, expulsions. Like, this is just not a good idea, right? Okay, this is a good idea. Sorry, H82. But invading the camps, that's not something you can do easily, which is why the camp control all game has gone to Miracle. And uh-oh. Caught our Ballistix on the rotation. A lot of armor coming out from Uth there. Here comes SDE. Now, it's not a fight the Miracle can take. They're going to try to turn it with Sank, but indecisive. Junga, though, will fall. The Aegis is really good here, actually. The Dragon Blade isn't going to be enough. Jaehyun was on cooldown with his heal, and now it looks like this might just be a team wipe. That fight was very close. The Sank, there was too much hesitation with it.
Well, it was 5v4 to start it off, but and Falstad, actually that expulsion zone with the Sanctification was kind of off. They were trying to do the damage on top.
That was the only way he could have saved the keep, but it needed to be a few seconds earlier. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is he going to gust it? Like, I would totally gust it here, but...
Even that could not save it. Way too much camp.
Yeah.
And it was going to be delayed for a few seconds only.
And G-Clef, this Dragon Knight needs to get a keep. Otherwise, even though Miracle was team-wiped, their control of the mercenary camps and this comp that's designed to give them merc control on any merc camp they take is going to continue to put them ahead. Ballistix needs to get at least a key. Obviously, if they get more than that, then they'll pull ahead. They're still ahead in experience, so they have opportunities to use Infinite Dragon Blade at 20 and things like that, but, you know, the lack of a keep here really hurts. This Dragon Knight's only got a minute left. And they need to make that minute count. It's going to be the same lane. They want to neutralize the lane pressure rather than, you know, kind of flop it where they got a middle one and both lanes have catapults kind of pushing in weird ways. But already Miracle's bought a lot of time here. Here comes SDE. All heroics besides Sank are up. It's going to be up in just a second here. This could be a full-blown fight for Miracle because it's going to be the last fight they can take before Ballistix has 20. And they will get 20 very shortly after this keep goes down. Could be an opportunity here.
H82 looking for the Naga. I think the Haka's about to come. Does come down to the backside, Holy Ground.
Okay, good Sank. Good Sank here. The keep goes down, so it's not going to be working for them. Gunza eating that Zarya shield here. This is not the fight they wanted. This is a pretty big win for Ballistix. They walk away safely, they get the keep, and they do guarantee themselves 21st. It was Genji in the Dragon Knight, which I thought was really cool because that meant that if he popped out, he could have been instantly Divine Shield Dragon Bladed. And, you know, had they had 20, it would have been, like, really, really good. But they didn't, obviously, have 20 in time. But if the Dragon Knight lasted longer, a different scenario would have been cool. So I like that choice. Ballistix is now ahead because they have 20, and they have the macro game controlled. I like this attempted invade because Miracle on the other side of the coin is super good at invading with this comp, and should be looking to do so as much as possible. But against 20, this is a tough call to make. No
Maybe
sync.
Right before 20, that's exactly what they want to do. They're going in.
No sync, but Holy Ground.
Fails from Jungha.
Okay, they're going to steal this cap. SDE, though, with a great gust. And look at SC. He is just dashing to his life's desire, man. Swinging that Dragon Blade. Explosion Zone here, not going to be enough to turn this fight around. And Divine Shield means he's going to have this 20 Dragon Blade now just going and going and going. And Gunza will be the last to fall. And that 20 was what they needed. I feel like Miracle could invade every time, but they didn't have Sank for this one. And that was what cost them in the end.
Well, Dragon becomes me. That was the beginning and the end. And the Swift Strike upgrade, all the talents, it really worked out for the most damage possible. They were in a straight line where he could do the most damage. I mean, talk about the best Genji. SC just flow like water here.
Flows like water. A great comp for Miracle. I think they had real control over the game for a long time. They got that first keep. They took good fights. And Ballistix struggled sometimes in the early game to understand what